Thanks so much for coming. Um, okay, yeah, I don't think, yeah. Okay, let me get started. Thank you. Here we are. Korean folk paintings. Um, should I do it full screen or should I do one by one like this? Okay, let's get started. I want to share some history about Korean paintings. Wait, was it better to do it full screen? I'll just leave it like this. So there are some categories of Korean paintings. For example, there are Taoist paintings, Buddhist paintings, Confucian paintings, decorative paintings, and more. The earliest Korean paintings are from more than 2,000 years ago. The Goryeo period in Korea from 918 to 1392 had paintings mainly in the style of Buddhist scroll paintings. There were many influences from Chinese styles. Before the Joseon dynasty, the primary influences on Korean painting was Chinese painting. This influenced Korean painting, but with Korean characteristics in landscape painting, facial features, and Buddhist topics. Also, Korean painting emphasized celestial observation in the developing Korean astronomy. It is important to note the Do Hwa So. It is the Royal Artist School or Academy of Korea. The Do Hwa So was established in the Goryeo period in Korea, but it is known as the Administrative Office of Joseon Drawing Pictures. It was run by bureaucrats of the court, and it gave exams to artists. After the Joseon dynasty, Korean painting developed into many other genres and traditions. For example, monochromatic black brushwork, sometimes with color, genre scenes, bird and flower painting, colorful folk art called Minhwa, Buddhist devotional scrolls called Taenghwa, festival arts, and others. Interestingly, some paintings of Korean folk art can be described as genre painting. What is genre painting? It is the depiction of everyday life of ordinary people who are performing common activities. This is the kind of Korean painting that I am interested in studying and copying. In some genre paintings, the scholars are depicted. The male scholars would wear traditional hats or other rank hats with scholars' monochromatic robes. They might be pictured with teachers or mentors. They might also be in a setting of tea houses near mountains or near mountain lodges. What about Korean Minhwa art? Different from genre art, there is also Minhwa. Its main subject is the tiger. This is because Korea used to be the land of tigers. Minhwa is art made from the common people of Korea. Other subjects in Minhwa may include dragons, bird and flower paintings, landscapes, and others. Now I want to introduce some famous Korean painters. Some famous Korean painters in Korean folk art may include Kim Hongdo, Jeong Seon, Duseo, Shin Yunbok, Kim Duk-shin, Jang Sung-up, Lee Kyung-yun, Kang Se-hwang, and Chi Eun-young. First is I introduce Kim Hongdo's paintings. He was a full-time painter in Korea's Joseon period. He likes to portray the everyday lives of ordinary Korean people. Here is one of his paintings. Jeong Seon. His works have ink and oriental water paintings. To introduce Jeong Seon's paintings. Interestingly, he painted every day. And here's one of Jeong Seon's paintings. Then I will introduce Yoon Do-seo's paintings. Yoon Do-seo Yoon Do-seo devoted his life to painting and studying Confucianism. He was from the Joseon period. And here's one of his paintings. And then there is Shin Yunbok's paintings too. He was a painter from the Joseon dynasty too. He was the son of a royal court painter named Han Pyong. He depicted both townspeople and giseng. There was a difference between Kim Hongdo's painting subjects and Shin Yunbok's painting subjects. Kim Hongdo liked to depict peasants, and Shin Yunbok's paintings were more of townspeople and giseng. And here is Shin Yunbok's painting. And now I want to introduce my own paintings. In my paintings, I like to mix the Japanese mythology with the Korean style. One myth is the myth of the tea house, and another myth is the myth of the bathhouse. I'm also interested in the women's iconic hairstyles that make you think that it is Korean. In my paintings, I am trying to copy the narrative aspect of these Korean paintings. I like that there is a story behind the paintings. Also, it is interesting to pay attention to the compositions. Also, the landscape is flat, and this is interesting to me. They are depictions of daily life. And now I want to introduce my work, and these are some of my Korean folk paintings. And here is my first work. It's about Korean woman in a bathhouse. And here is another work, another woman in a bathhouse.